and rather, not only time tested, I will say rather a very long time tested activity, and it is targeted especially for the body as well as soul. Actually, the various researches that have taken place in the last century, or maybe about 50 years back or so, they have identified this body as well as soul as these are two different entities. A person who is very physically strong may not be strong at his soul, and then the use of his strength is not that important. Rather, especially in case of warfares and all that, it is said that the machines are not important, but the man behind the machine is very important. And that's what I can compare with the fitness of the body and the soul. A body may be very strong, but at soul, if he is not strong, then there are chances that he may be either misusing his physical strength or may not be at all able to use it. And especially yoga, which is intended for developing both, is very important form of practicing, and that can give you a healthy body as well as a healthy soul. And from my point of view, this is a very important thing and beauty of the Indian culture. And that's why I mentioned earlier that instead of saying it is only time tested activity, I had said it's a long time tested activity which will help us. But the thing is that because of the effect of colonization, we all are driven by what comes from the West. Means it it comes from the West. In certain cases it may be West. Here I mean to say WAST, but we adopt it as a standard of living. And when they talk about the yoga, meditation, and all these kind of forms, then we start realizing no, it's really important, and that is given by our tradition, our rishis, munis from the hundreds of years. And really, a couple of years back, I think maybe in 2018, the first International Yoga Day was celebrated. This was really a very important decision of Government of India to have this kind of things so that it may be understood by each and everyone. As a child, when I was studying in maybe sixth or seventh standard, then one of our teachers, he was sent for some short-term program on yoga, and he attended it in somewhere in Pune. I don't remember it. And my father also being a teacher, that particular teacher who had attended that yoga sessions, he was very keen to it. And being residing just next to our home, I had interaction with them. But when in those days, when this concept was taken to the students, that he tried his best. When this concept was taken to the students, it was very lightly taken by the students of our school. That by be sitting in say Padmasana, or doing Surya Namaskar, or maybe performing certain asanas and part of pranayam, they didn't believe then this can be useful anymore for our physical development. This is what was the scenario. Because of such kind of
Hello.
Yeah, is it stopped from his end? Because I am also not able to hear. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
I'll make it.
sure,
Wait
sure.
a minute.
Okay. Yeah, he's come back. Yeah.
yeah, I got disconnected. Probably internet is also saying that don't stand between our guest who is going to enlighten us on this occasion. So I wish that will be definitely certain takeaways for our students as well as for faculty members, and they will start practicing yoga from today itself. Some of the glimpses and what we can say the some motivational speech from your side, and knowing some technicalities will be definitely helpful for all of our students as well as faculty members. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your motivation. Now I request our today's presenter, Mr. Verma, to please start with the session. Now we would like to hear from you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Dr. Patil, this is a very nice introduction. And as you rightly said, this is really ancient, and the ancientness of this, our culture is more than 14,000 years old. So, and unfortunately, we have to do these type of sessions to be able to explain our basic culture to our own people, as this is not there in all the textbooks at all. It's just gone out of our, there's such a great knowledge and such a practical knowledge is out. So I hope this session will create an interest among all of us that we should go back to our roots. Our culture is extremely rich culture, and I think there's nothing except for on outward development which has happened in the Western world. There's nothing else that we need to pick up, because everything else is there in our great Indian culture. And it's very good that now we are celebrating International Yoga Day. I think, and that is another reason why we are here, to understand the basics of aspects of yoga. So as so I have been, of course, practicing this yoga called Sahaj Yoga for the last 31 years. And I was just, like you guys, I think all of you are engineering students is what I understand. And I am also a student of engineering. So I did my engineering from RAC Surathkal, that used to be called at that point of time. Now it is called NITK, National Institute of Technology. And I was an electrical engineering student. And my journey into yoga started at that point of time. So it started in 1990, the time I started my engineering. And as soon as I went into engineering, I was introduced to yoga when I came back to my hometown, which is Bangalore. During one of our summer vacations, I was introduced to it. And since then, it has helped me in every stage of my life till now. Okay, that means now, of course, my son is now in the third year of product design. He's doing his automotive design. So, I would say one generation has passed. And it has helped him also tremendously since he has been born. He's been doing, and for me, since the time I was in college, from the time I went into office, into my own business, and my family, every time it has helped me at every stage. And today I would like to share with you how it has helped me in this journey. And it's just a fantastic journey, a wonderful journey. Not just because there is some success or anything. Success is outward, but what we need to do and what we need to achieve is the yoga within, with the happiness within, the balance within, right? So there are two parts to whatever we learn in life, right? So one is, of course, the skill sets that we learn, right? So now all of you are doing your engineering. So it's a certain skill set that you are acquiring. You are doing your higher studies in a certain branch and you acquire a certain skill sets, okay? Now, when you go forward, how do you apply it in day-to-day life, uh, and that is irrespective of whatever knowledge that you acquire, whether you are a medical student, an engineering student, whether you're law, anything that you do in life, you may be anybody. The application of basics of life do not change with whatever you study. And I think that is not being taught. And I think that is what in nowadays it is called as emotional intelligence. And and that's a word, but still again nobody understands what it is. Similarly, here in yoga, people, as soon as you hear the word yoga, the thing that comes up first in the mind is that it's an exercise, yeah, or it is something which is very quiet to be done, or a meditation. And it is much more, much beyond, and it is such a practical use is there. And we will do two practical sessions today for you to be able to experience what is the real yoga. Okay, so yoga has many aspects to it. This was written about 14,000 years back by a great rishi called as Patanjali. Okay, now of course it's a very big business, so it was not that Patanjali, but the real saint called Patanjali, he wrote the Patanjali Yoga Shastra. Okay, and in that there are mentioned about 8 limbs of the yoga. There are 8 limbs, so 8 parts of yoga, and it has to be applied in day-to-day life. It's called yama, niyama, pratyahara, pranayama, asana. Now asana is one small bit of it. Okay, so out of the 8, asana is one. So but right now in yoga everybody thinks about all the exercises that we do, so that is important, very important, but it is one of the parts. And then you have dhyan, dharana, and ultimately you need reach a state which is called as samadhi. That means, as I think Dr. Patil also said, that there are 2 things. One is the body and second is the soul. And when you become one with that sama plus adi, when you become one with that all pervading who is eternal, adi means eternal, who is first. When you become one with that, that is the yoga. So yoga comes from the word called as yuja. Okay, so yuja is the word from where the yoga word started. And ultimately, what is the ultimate aim of yoga is yuja. For that, the body has to be very healthy, and that's why asana is one part of it. But what about the rest of it? There are, as he said, there are many aspects of the of our yoga which will come up. Okay, so we will understand that today in a very, very small short. I will do a small presentation which will tell you that there is something more subtler inside, rather than and which looks after many aspects. So now we think about ourselves as physical bodies, but we also have another very important aspect called as emotions. And that's why when I talked about emotional intelligence, we will understand how to use the emotional aspect of this yoga in our day-to-day life. How do you apply it once you go into the world? Even now, when you're in college, every moment of your life, you need to use it. And how do we use it is what we will cover. So the emotional part of it, the physical part, which is one of the aspects. Then you also have a mental aspect. That means you have your thinking ability, which is there. That's also part of our well-being. And finally, we have something called as spiritual. And I think this is something that is absolutely missing. And we feel spirituality comes afterwards, right? And we do not know what is spirituality. And again, there you once as soon as you hear the word spiritual, the first thing that happens is, okay, I need to go to a mosque or a temple or a church, then I'm a spiritual being. Now that also is a like the word yoga is only related to the physical part. Same way, spiritually is related to only one part of it, which is called as religion. Okay, so now it is actually much more than that. And today we will try and understand what is the spiritual aspect of human beings. So 4 things. Okay, so just I'm again summarizing that we are made out of 4 aspects. One is our emotional side, we have a physical side, we have a mental side, and we have a spiritual side. And all of that is controlled inside our body. And hence, if you want to have a balanced life, use all the skills in a balanced way, that is where you need to go within. And that is something that I will now try and show you in a very quick, in about 5 minutes. We will cover this because this is a huge subject. Yeah. And so now my video would stop and you will be able to see my screen. Okay, so please stop me in between because now I can't see anybody. I'm only seeing my screen in terms of the presentation. All right, so what we have, so what is important in life is when we have a personality, our personality is not only about career, about what we study. It's not only about making money, which is materialistic things, but our mind, our body, our social life, our emotions, our family, everything has to be in a, it's a very important word here, is called as balance. And the moment we go into imbalance, we have tremendous amount of problems in life. Initially, our body is very strong. You are all very young, so till the age of about 35, 40, nothing happens. How much ever you abuse your body, nothing happens. But what you do in the next 15 years will decide what you will be in the next 30, 40 years. Because, our body keeps on getting stressed and we do not know because it does not come out, until and unless there is a report card which comes. Suddenly you go to a pathological test and then they say, oh my God, you have got blood pressure. Then you say, why? How did I get blood pressure? What happened? What changed in me? I was okay, healthy. But suddenly it comes out, the report. And that is what is the imbalance, And if we are able to find a way in which can we find out, are we going out of imbalance every day? That is yoga. That is possible with yoga. That is possible with the union. And there is something within us which will tell us, okay? And that aspect is called as a subtle system. So we'll spend 2-3 minutes here on the subtle system. We are aware of physical body. In colleges or in schools, they teach us very clearly in our basic biology class. We have a heart, we have lungs, we have, brain, intestine, stomach, all of that, the reproductive organs, everything. The basic is given, but nobody talks about this because this is more, I would say, more subtler than the organs. That means every organ needs an energy to be looked after. So at the back of it, behind every physical organ, you have a chakra. In our shastras, we call it as chakras. Medical science calls it as plexus. You would have heard of cardiac plex. So cardiac plex looks after the lungs and the heart. Okay, that's in our chest. But more subtler than that is a chakra called as a heart chakra that you can see here, the number 4. Now that chakra looks after that physical organ. So if this chakra goes out of imbalance, after some time, you will feel that imbalance in the heart, lungs. So for example, some people have asthma. Why? They don't know. They'll say, Acha, this is hereditary. No. Asthma also can be cured because there is a problem in the subtle chakra. So if any physical problem is there, just to escape it, we say that it comes hereditary or something or some problem. No, it comes because of an imbalance within ourselves. So this is the root. This is the knowledge of the root. And we have 7 main chakras from first chakra. So these are all in our spinal cord. And you have different chakras. From first chakra at the base of the spinal cord, you have something called as Muladhara, the Swadhisthana. In the stomach, we have Nabhi. Heart, we have the heart chakra, or Anahata it is called. In the throat, we have Vishuddhi chakra, which looks after ear, nose, throat, ENT, right? So it's called as a cervical plexus. It looks after that. Here we have the Ajna chakra, and on the top, the whole brain, the 1,000 nerves. And because there are exactly 1,000 nerves, it's called Sahasrara. And this is what looks after every aspect of our body. And the aspect that I talked about, now this gives energy, and energy is distributed in the body through these channels. We call them as nervous system. And in our shastras, it is written as Ida Nadi, the Pingala Nadi, Sushumna Nadi. Medical science calls the same thing as autonomous nervous system. It works autonomously, it works automatically. And the energy from each of the chakras are going inside every nerve, and it connects to the brain. So the brain is the one which is connecting everything. Yeah. But the system is alive only if the heart is working. And hence, we have to understand, how does the heart function? How does it beat? Who is beating it? That question nobody asks, because, sometimes they say, I don't know the answer, so it's better not to ask that question. Yeah. So it's very interesting to know how this whole system was formed. So we have to understand one theory here, saying that there is an all-pervading power, which we, as Dr. Patel also touched about it, and also Madam said about it, saying nature. We call that as a cosmic energy. There is something, some energy, which is doing all the work. And it is this nature which actually gives us birth. So we feel, of course, we are given birth by our own mother, which is correct physically. But how does the heartbeat start? The question is, how does the heartbeat start? because that's a start point. And why does it end? So that question is not answered by medical science at all. They say yes, after 3 weeks, suddenly the fetus has a heartbeat. So how does it start is that you have the energy which comes and falls on the top of our head, which is like a triangle in the when we are in our mother's womb. That energy first forms this subtle system. This we call this a subtle nervous system. It forms the system, comes down, it forms the chakras and settles in a triangular bone here called as the sacrum bone. The first bone at the bottom of our spinal cord is called sacrum bone. And there it comes and settles in 3.5 coils, the energy, the nature, and that is our own mother, individual mother. Now we may have, our mother may have many children, but this mother, we have only one child and we have only one mother. And that is the mother Kundalini. That's an energy within us. And then comes in the heart, the Atma. The Atma comes or that is what we call as a soul, because the soul has many auras around it. The Atma has an aura around it, which controls the 7 chakras. And that is what it's called as the soul comes and settles in the heart, and suddenly the heartbeat starts. Okay. So now what does this do? Each of these chakras, they have many qualities. Okay. So this nadi, the chakras, they rotate at a frequency, give energy. And because of that, it looks after many organs like Muladhara chakra or Swadhisthana chakra. Let us take an example. Looks after our spleen, pancreas, liver, and all of that. So if these have to function well, you need energy. Okay. And then after that, it works very well, very nicely. But physically, then you're all right. But it also gives you many qualities within. And that qualities are like, for example, it gives you creativity, concentration. Now we always say, Acha, I'm not able to concentrate. What does it mean? It means our attention is not being able to focus on one place. And if you are able to, when this chakra is absolutely functioning perfectly, the concentration comes automatically. You feel confident automatically. So many a times when we have to speak in public, we are not able to speak. We just say stage fright, or what to say, what will people think? Am I telling correctly? You know, that confidence is not there. Your heart beats like crazy. Now that is because the heart chakra is weak, and hence you also get asthma many times. Many people have stammering problems, is because physically you're okay, but the aspect called emotional aspect or the quality of the chakra is not okay. Similarly, you have what is called as the Vishuddhi, where you can talk very well. So what we are trying to say is that every chakra has potential within it. We call it potential energy. It is not dynamic. And for dynamism to come in, the only way is this Kundalini, which comes and settles in the triangular bone here, it has to come up again, open these chakras and connect back to the all-pervading power, which has created us. And that, my dear friends, is called as yoga. Yoga means actually when the Kundalini awakens, comes up and connects to the all-pervading power, you can suddenly start feeling. Now, this is a very important word. You start feeling the chakras and nadis in the hands. So in our hands, the points are very sensitive because the nerves from Swadhisthana come to the thumb here. So the moment the chakra is not okay, you can feel it in the thumb. So it starts giving you another dimension. All right, another dimension. So another important aspect that we need to understand is we spoil the chakra by, we can abuse it, right? For example, we have alcohol, let us say. We know that when you have consumed alcohol, the liver gets into a problem. Okay. And after some time, you will get diabetes, and all of that is well known, documented. But some people say, I don't drink and I'm a very pious, good boy. But when he thinks too much about the future, all the time he's thinking, what will happen? Will I get a job? How will my family survive? What will I do? I'm not able to study, or whatever, when he's thinking, how do I plan, you go to an extremity. You do not know where to stop. And that is where again the Swadhisthana chakra gets spoiled. and you can get the same disease. Like, after some time, once you abuse it too much, when overthinking, you get the same problem of diabetes. So some people say, I don't do anything, but still I've got diabetes, or I've got blood pressure, or I'm getting angry. I have no control on my anger, is because of this chakra. So that means that is the emotional side of it. Now, the problem is only one in our life, is we do not know what is right, what is wrong, how much to go, how much to stop. And that is what the yoga gives you. It tells you, are you in balance or you're not in balance? How much do I study? How much do I relax? How much do I play? How much do I enjoy? When do I have to become serious? When do I have to really, start giving? When do I become collective? When do I become individual? All are important. But the decision when is the aspect called as the emotional intelligence. So you may be very, very good in studies, but when it comes to real application, we falter. We are not able to work as a team. We are very individualistic. We can't express our thoughts. Then, nothing happens in life. Though you may be very good, you may be emotionally attached. So how do we detach? And how do we get the reins in our hand? Is through the Kundalini awakening. Okay, and that is a very, very beautiful aspect which will happen. Okay, so now we will come to a practical aspect of it. Now this is all theory. Forget the theory, because what we need to do is we need to understand what is the practical approach to it. How do we do it practically? Okay, so the practical part of it is very important. So now what we will do is, now we will understand theory. If you're interested in this, you can contact us back. I'll give you all our contact numbers. Everything is available in the net and absolutely free of cost. Okay, so what do we need to do is the question now. All right, so what we will do is, first we will again understand this aspect. Okay, that how the Kundalini comes up and gives us the realization. We get connected with that all-pervading power, and once that all-pervading power is there, you start feeling it on our nervous system. It is so fantastic. Now, for example, just to give you an analogy of this, we have a mobile phone, right? So I think everybody has a mobile phone. Now you imagine this phone has a lot of features. So our human body has a lot of features. No problem. We can do it. If a mobile phone is not connected to the internet, you do not put a SIM card, still it will work. It will function. But there are many, many more dynamic aspects about a mobile phone which can be triggered the moment you get connected to that force, the communication signal. And hence, even though you have a SIM card within, it is not active. So you can't communicate at all, right? And certain feature sets which are there, but you are not able to unleash the potential. The potential is there, but it cannot be converted into kinetic energy. Same way, within us, you can, as an analogy, understand that the SIM card within us is this Kundalini. She's there, dormant, not active. Our body is like a mobile phone. It has fantastic functions. It has many more, but problem is we are not unleashing the kinetic energy. So the moment the Kundalini comes up, opens this place called as the Brahmarandra. I hope you can see my video myself. It opens this area called as the Brahmarandra, which is from where the energy comes and forms this chakral nadis and connects to this all-pervading power. And when it connects, this all-pervading power is the one which does everything. The nature, we call it as Rutumbra Prajna, the one which makes the nature and gives different seasons. The whole energy which moves the universe, how is the sun moving? Everything is done by this energy, which we call as a natural nature's energy, which we call as God's energy, the all-pervading power of God's love. This energy now starts flowing in our nervous system, and you can feel it in the hands. And if there is a block, let us say if Swadhisthana chakra, if there is a block, you can start feeling it as pricking here. It's an actualization. And now the reins are in your hand. If I go to the extremity, then it starts showing to me in my hands. That means the medical report is there in your hands every day. and that gives you the balance in life. That is the one. Emotional intelligence is the reins which will not allow you to go to an extreme of anything. Otherwise, if you think that I know everything, then you're lost. So then they say you're egoistically very high. Now ego is important, but how to have a control on that? Otherwise you go to the other extreme where you say I'm useless, I don't know, I'm very bad, it's nothing is happening. Then you go to a depression. One day you're excited, one day we are depressed. So this whole pendulum movement is what needs to stop, and you have to have the rein and be in a balanced state. Okay, so now let us try and unleash this very important aspect. We will play a very small 1-minute video which will show how the Kundalini awakens. Okay, it's a very small interesting aspect of it, the subtle system it shows, and then we will do the practical part, which will take about 10 minutes. Okay.
ध्यान कितना आनंददायी अनुभव है, पर जो बाहर से शांत दिखता हो, ध्यान कितना आनंददायी अनुभव.
Power of just one. Okay, so what we saw now was, it will give you an imagination that what will happen when this energy within awakens, opens every chakra, and again connects us to the all-pervading power. Okay, so this is called the first step of activation. As we activate a symphone, we call it Atma Sakshatkara. So before we go ahead, what happened, till now, this was there in so many years, as we are calling it. So what is it that changed? I hope you're able to see my screen. Is that, I'll talk about Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, that in 1970, she opened this Sahasrara and found a method of what is we call as en masse realization, where earlier we had to do a lot of hard work initially to be able to awaken the Kundalini and start feeling this power. That is where they said first you do physical exercise, get your body okay, you do you lead a balanced life, which is called as yama and niyama. Have a discipline in life, overcome your 6 enemies. All of that was there, and then you will get dhyan, dharana, and samadhi. So in 1970, Mataji, what she did was found a method of en masse realization. Okay, of course, she was born in 1923, and she studied medical science. She also took part in the freedom struggle. Her father was a very big MP in Nagpur. He also wrote the constitution along with Ambedkar ji. Okay, and she married a Sir CP, who was the United Nations General Secretary for about 16 years for Maritime Organization. She has 2 children. And then in 1970, she dedicated the next 41 years to Sahaj Yoga, and went all around the world free of cost and gave this as a beautiful aspect and taught that what is self-realization. And not only that, but also gave a practical experience of it. Okay, so this is the aspect of it. So what changed is that she found a method of what we call as self-realization. Okay, so there are some 9 steps to this. Okay, so now we will do this 9 steps. So now the practical part starts. We are going to have 2 practical parts now. It will take 10 minutes each. So now I would request everybody, if you're watching on a mobile, so please keep your mobile in front, be in a very quiet place, because this is an experience and we would like each one of you to feel that experience. So you have to have just concentrate for some time. So this is our humble request. So please keep it in a quiet place. If your laptop is there, you can sit on the ground as we are sitting, or if you're sitting on the chair, sit with both the legs absolutely parallel to the ground, touch it to the Mother Earth. If you're wearing shoes or anything, just remove it so that your bare feet should touch the Mother Earth. Okay, so here we will do the 9 steps. Just have a look at it. First, we have to keep our right hand on the left heart. Okay, we will show a video, don't worry. I'm just taking you through the steps. Okay, left hand should always be on the lap, right hand on the left heart. Okay, so this is used for the activation of the Atma, the first aspect. Once that awakens, then the Kundalini also awakens. The second is we keep it on the upper part of our abdomen on the left hand side. So you see the right hand should always be on the left side of the body. Okay, which we call as Ida Nadi. It is working on the Ida Nadi. The third step is lower part of the abdomen, like where we have a belt, that portion where we keep the right hand and press it. Fourth, we again bring it back to the upper part of the stomach, abdomen. Then we bring it back to the left heart. Okay, from where we started. There's a 5th step. 6th is you put it between the neck and the shoulder. We have a chakra called Vishuddhi. We put it on the Agnya chakra, which is on the forehead. Bend our heads forward. Then we put it at the back of the head, put it upwards, so that the whole weight of the head comes on the hand. And finally, we will put the hand on the top of the head. And this is the most important step, that you have to rotate the skin here 7 times. Okay, so now we will do these 9 steps. So don't worry, we will be putting a video. Okay, and in that video you will again see how this is being done. So again, I'm just, if you all can see my video, I'll again show it to you. First is you keep the hand, the left hand on the, so right hand on the left heart. Okay, this is the first one. Then on the upper part of the abdomen, then the lower part of the abdomen. Okay, then upper part of, so left hand always should be here, right hand like that. Then we put it on the heart, between the neck and the shoulder, and then between the forehead, and push your head down. Then we put it at the back of the head and push our head upwards. And the last is the most important step, please, because the Sahasrara we call as Brahmarandra, which is called as Talu, right? And when we are very small, we know that this portion of the children are very, very soft. That is, they are connected to that power. Yeah. So here we have to open this. So we put our palm on the top of the head and rotate it in a clockwise direction. Okay, and then afterwards we will tell you another two small exercises to be done, which I will do it afterwards. That we keep both the hands towards the sky like this, and we put our hand above the head and see if we are able to feel this kundalini power coming on the hands. So as we said, the activation is this step. First step of yoga is atma sakshatkara. You can start feeling what we call as the chaitanya, the parama chaitanya, the brahma chaitanya, the nature, the energy which is going all across. That is what we start feeling on our hands. Okay, so come, let us do this. This, of course, you have to ask. So I know I will be putting a video, and Shrimataji will give this realization. So she is our guru. You have to ask for the realization. Once we ask, then it starts flowing. Okay, and at the end, of course, here you have to ask this very important question that I would like to feel it. Like, we are like, oh, scientists, let us try and see, will we be able to feel this power within? And then we will tell you how to continue this and sustain this over a period of time, which is the meditation. Okay, so come, I will just play this video. And afterwards, of course, I'll keep it open for a lot of question answers that we will have.
Keep your eyes closed. First of all, please put your right hand on your heart. All the time, the left hand is towards me. Now, here you have to say, in your heart, with all sincerity, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question 3 times in your heart. This is a very fundamental question. Now bring the right hand on to the left hand side of your stomach.
Let us keep our eyes closed in this whole process. If you get confused, you can open, see what Shrimataji is doing, and then again close it, because our attention should be within. Yeah.
In the upper part. Here, press it. Now, this is the center of your master, your guidance, your Guru Tattva, as they say. So, ask a question, Mother, am I my own master? This is a question to be asked 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Now, bring your right hand down below, in the lower part of your thumb. Now, this is the center from which all the divine work is done. All the pure work is done. So to ask 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 6 times, you just ask. As a result of this asking, the Kundalini starts getting awakened. Now, to help the Kundalini rise, you have to cooperate with her. So please put your right hand on the left hand side in the upper part of your abdomen and press it on the stomach. Now here you have to say with full confidence to help the Kundalini to rise. Mother, I am my own master. This you have to say 10 times. These are the 10 commandments which you have to say. That, Mother, I am my own master. Now, 10 times with full confidence. Now, please raise your right hand to your heart. Now, here you have to say, again with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This is the truth. You are the Spirit. But you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This you have to say 12 times. Now one has to know that God Almighty is the ocean of love. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So He forgives. Whatever wrong you do, He forgives. So don't feel guilty and put your right hand across on the left hand side in the corner which is made by your neck and your shoulder. Now here you have to say again with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say it. Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. I am not guilty at all. Please say it. Please say it. Now raise your hand across on your forehead. And it's a very important center. Here you have to say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it from your heart. How many times is not the point. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now, some would say that it's very difficult to forgive. But it's a myth that we do not forgive or we forgive. We do not do anything in both the cases. But if we don't forgive, then we play into wrong hands. So please say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now please take your hand on the back agya, the same center, on the back side of your head and allow your head to rest on it and push it back a little bit. Now here, you have to say, for your satisfaction, because you always feel guilty, that, O Divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive. Please forgive me. From your heart. Stretch your hand fully and put your center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a very soft bone in your childhood. Press it hard. Press hard your scalp. Now you have to move it 7 times, saying one thing, which you have to ask for. Mother, please give us my self-realization. Because I cannot force on it. You have to ask for it. 7 times, press it hard and move it 7 times. Very hard. slowly, saying that.
Okay, so now what we'll do is one more small exercise we will do. Let us keep both the hands in front of us near our heart, at the level of the heart. Okay, like the way I'm doing it, you can see me the way I'm doing. So both the hands should be at the heart level, fingers a little open. Let it be a little open. Okay, let it not touch each other. Then we can feel the sensitivity of that. There is some energy which is flowing in both the hands. Okay, now we will keep the left hand where it is and put the right hand above the head like this, about at least 2-3 inches above. Let it be parallel to the head. The palm should be parallel to the head. Bend down your head a little so that it becomes easy. Okay, you can, the hand goes easily now. So here, just keep your hand moved up, down, left, right, slowly. And can we feel a sensation from the center of the head on the center of the palm? We will feel it as a cool or a hot breeze. Can we feel it? Request everybody to check it. It's very subtle. You will feel it. Now we will keep the right hand down. Check with the left hand. We have 3 nadis. So the right side nadi is what we checked. We are checking with the left hand. Is the left nadi. Now, sometimes some people feel on the right hand, they don't feel on the left. Some people feel on the left, do not feel on the right. They may feel cool, they will feel hot, or it will be neutral. So anything, just look at the experience. Try and feel it. Now again, we'll keep the left hand below. Again, check once more with the right hand. First time, if we do not feel the sensitivity, say, Mother, I would like to feel what you're explaining, the energy. I would like to feel it on my hands, on my central nervous system. Again, keep the right hand down, check with the left. Okay. Now this energy is flowing all around us. Okay. So what we are feeling, trying to feel now is a Kundalini which is coming up. Okay. Now what we will do is this energy which we are seeing is all around. Just put your hand upwards like this. Look up and stretch your hand as much as possible. And now on the palms, on the fingers, can we feel an energy flow? Ask this question. Mother, is this that all-pervading power that I can feel in my hands flowing? Is this the all-pervading power of God's love, the cosmic energy, the nature? Is this the energy? You will feel it increase in the hands. Okay. So at the end of it, of course, I will ask you questions. I would like you to share what you felt. But before that, we will understand what, there are 2 aspects to the meditation, okay, or 2 aspects to yoga. One is that we need to feel the realization, correct? So just one. So one is, we did this exercise just now. The first step is we have to activate. But now once it is activated, it needs to be sustained. The connection has to be there all the time. Otherwise, it goes into imbalance. So now the work starts, which is, I would say, a lifelong work, which you have to just keep aware every day, 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes in the evening. keep connecting back to the source. Now it is like this. You see, our body has a limited energy. Okay, it's like a gas cylinder. Gas cylinder is limited. Maybe it will work if it, if you have too much of a load of the house of cooking, it may last 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, 1.5 months maximum. Then it has to be refilled again, right? Now imagine that you don't have a gas cylinder, but you're connected directly to a pipeline. It is inexhaustible, correct? So now our chakras and nadis get into complete imbalance. And then as soon as the energy finishes, you get into deep trouble. Like, just to give you an example, there was a very famous person now here, he was the CEO of Indigo, right? A very young man, 40, 45 years. He used to run like crazy, very good physical exercise. He just collapsed one day with a heart attack or a brain hemorrhage. Now, why did that happen? So there are two parts of it. One is the physical and second is the emotional part. It has to be in balance. So now, when the Kundalini awakens, at every chakra, it makes it rotate at its frequency. And for that, energy has to be connected to this all-pervading energy. And that happens what we call as meditation. So when we do meditation, the chakras which are stressed again come back into balance. Similarly, you go to the other side of emotions where you feel very weak, don't want to do, don't want to get up, you're completely confused. What shall I do in my life? Should I take up this job, not take up this job? All type of stress will start coming to you as you go ahead in life. Now you need to be in balance to be able to take that decision. That reins is in our hand. And the only way to bring the chakras back into balance, so if the chakra becomes slow, you become slow. All the laziness, afraid, the fear, everything starts when the chakra starts slowing down. And that's what you call as low BP, low blood pressure. So everything is low. And on the right side, when it becomes very fast, you become extremely overactive, high BP, high blood pressure, high diabetes, everything is high, right? That is when your chakra rotates fast. But when you do meditation, it comes into balance. So every day when we meditate, it prevents any extra imbalances in our body. And this is the emotional part of it, which is in control. You control it. Okay. So come now, let us do this step of meditation. Of course, there are many, many advantages of meditation. So there are very simple 3 steps. Now again, let us do that. Now, one more very important step in meditation is, what is meditation? Again, the concept of meditation is very wrongly understood. Meditation is being in the present. You see, now we have 3 nadis, okay? And the 3 nadis work very beautifully. We have to understand how these 3 nadis work. The Ida nadi is a nadi of desire. And in life, please understand, these 3 work together. So we call that as passion. We call that as the desire. If you do not have a desire, nobody can force you to do anything in life, right? If they say, I don't want to take an exam, nobody can force you. If they say, I will take a decision not to study, nobody can awaken the desire within you. It is inside you. And the energy which gives us the desire flows on the left side. And when that desire reduces, you go into depression, you go into sleep, we go into, into lethargy. And worst is you go into depression and then you want to end the life. Suicidal tendency. That means energy here keeps on reducing. So first step of anything that you do is desire. But desire, when it becomes too much, it gives you thoughts in the mind. Similarly, on the right side, it gives you action. You start working, you work, you study, you go and play, you become an expert in certain things. You put a lot of, reading, practical, then planning, then it gives you something called as ego. Then you feel, I can do anything, I am very good, you are useless, So the other fellow feels, I am very bad. So we are always oscillating between these 2 pendulums. But it is important to do action. And then you have to bring it to the center, which is the present. And the present does everything. Just to give you an idea, when you have a desire to eat food, the energy flows from the left side. I'm hungry. That's a desire which flows. Then what do? We go out, search for food, maybe have to cook it. You bring the vegetables, cook it, put it on a plate nicely. That is action. And then third is that in the center, you have to put it in your mouth, otherwise nothing is useful. But we spend a lot of time in desires and a lot of time in action, but we cannot sustain that whole action. Then you do not get results. So once we have put it inside the central nervous system, the digestion happens autonomously, automatically. It is where we get results, where we are able to sustain. So same thing in life. Now, for example, if you're a computer engineer, so the desire is I need to do a program. Then you will plan out. So the planning activity, you get energy from the right side. How do I do? What do I plan? You will write the codes, spend a lot of time, and then you will finish the program. Now, is it that the program is good? Only the customer who is at the center, once you present it to him, he may kick it out of the window saying that this is not what I wanted. And then you will be disappointed that I have spent so much of time. So in life, it's always like this. You have to have desire. You have to do action with the idea that is it pleasing my end game, which is a customer. And then you sustain it, and sustain it. So it is like this, like for example, you have a desire to drive. Unless you have a desire to drive, nobody can make you drive. Then you have to practice. If you practice 5 days and leave it, no use. Then you have to practice, and suddenly you become a master. So in life, everywhere you have to apply this at every chakra. And the same way you have to apply in meditation. Now I hope you understood the concept that most important is that we have to be in the center. And when you come to the center, the Sushumna Nadi, there is no thoughts. Means you come to the present. So meditation means you're in thoughtless awareness. You do not have thoughts about the future. You do not have thoughts about the past. And for that, you have to balance the two nadis, which give you tremendous amount of thoughts. And then at that time, the Kundalini, once the mind, which is at the brain here, at the our forehead, it stops giving you thoughts. There's a gap in our language. It is called as vilamb, pause, and that is when the Kundalini awakens, opens the Sahasrara, and connects you to this all-pervading power, and you get energy like tremendous. And the whole day you don't feel tired. How much ever you study, how you don't get into depression, you don't get into burnouts, and that is what is the rain that has to be in your hand. So every day, morning and evening, if you can meditate, that is the way you can sustain the Atma Sakshatkar that we have got. Now the chakra is open and given you that. But every day, morning and evening, like driving, we have to meditate. Not too much. 10 minutes is sufficient. And let us do it now. Okay. And so for that, there are 3 steps. So I would request everybody now to close your eyes. Okay. And the first step is keep the left hand on the lap, right hand on Mother Earth. If you're sitting on the ground, it is the best position, Padmasana. You don't have to do any other. Simple as we eat food, how do we sit on the ground? You can sit, or if you're sitting on the chair, keep both the feet on the Mother Earth, left hand on the lap, right hand on Mother Earth. Now the Ida Nadi, the Nadi of desire, we balance it. We say, Mother, just bring our Ida Nadi into balance. So the key word in yoga is balance. It is not less or too much. It is absolute balance. So now here, how do we know we are in balance is when the energy starts flowing in the left hand. Initially, it will not flow. But as it flows, you know the left comes into balance. So now you try and feel on the left palm, on the left fingertips, do we feel an energy flowing? And as we keep it for some time, it will increase and bring balance to the Ida Nadi. So this is the first step of meditation. We should do it for 1 or 2 minutes. So once we say the prayer, just keep quiet. So first is desire, then we pray. Pray is action. And the third step, which is Sushumna Nadi, is sustain it. Wait. Like how digestion happens automatically, the balance will happen automatically. But we have to slow ourselves down. That is meditation. Now, the next step is you will feel the energy increase on the left hand, slowly. Now you keep the right hand on the lap, left hand towards the sky. On the photograph, you would be seeing it. You know, your right hand should be on the palm, on the lap. Left hand, the left hand should be near your left ears, palm facing backwards, finger pointing towards the sky. You can just fold your at the elbow. Now here you balance the Pingala. This is called so in Pingala, what happens as you do work, as we plan, it produces heat in the body because the chakras rotate faster. And as we know, the car goes faster, heat is produced. Same way in life, when we run, it is heat produces heat. We start sweating, right? So this additional heat, which is imbalancing the chakras, we say, Mother, please balance my Pingala, the right side. All the chakras, let it just come into complete balance. So any additional heat goes into the sky. Sky is very powerful. So one is Mother Earth, second is sky. And after the prayer, again, we just wait for a minute. That is a sustenance. You will also within the body start feeling a type of a relaxation. The mind suddenly quietens down. And you will feel the energy increase in the right hand. Left hand also you will feel something going into the sky. Now the third step is keep both the hands on Mother Earth. Or if you're sitting on the chair, point it towards the Mother Earth. And here we just say that Mother, please balance all the nadis, all the chakras, and awaken the Kundalini. Because in meditation, the Kundalini Shakti awakens, opens the chakras, takes us beyond the thoughts, and connects us to that all-pervading power, to that gas pipeline which is inexhaustible energy. So we pray that Mother Kundalini, please awaken and lead us into meditation. So the important point here is you cannot do digestion. It happens on the parasympathetic nervous system. Sushumna Nadi is called parasympathetic. So we have to reduce our effort here. We have desire to eat food, we have prepared food, now digestion is automatic. Same way, the last step of meditation is automatic. So let us keep both the hands on the lap, close our eyes, and just relax. No efforts, no concentration anywhere. And that is when what we say the parasympathetic nervous takes over and does the real work. So as digestion is the actual real work of our all the efforts that we do, same way in meditation, being in the Sushumna Nadi And connecting to that all-pervading power is beyond our effort. It happens in the parasympathetic. And now starts the most difficult is keeping quiet. We are not used to it. And hence we say from now onwards, as we are young, from that time when we start, it becomes very easy. Otherwise, the thoughts will be so difficult. You can't go beyond the Agnya. You will get thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and disturbance, and you'll feel sleepy or you'll feel excited. When is it going to get over? Anxiety. You have to be in peace. And that is what you have to practice. So now what we'll do initially to help us, we will play a small music so that it keeps you in the present. Just listen to it, light music, and we will try and spend about 2-3 minutes in that. So now we will just open our eyes, and again, just keep the left hand here, right hand above the head. Just see, are you able to again feel that energy? Because this is the yoga, this is the yuja, which has happened. And keep the right hand absolutely parallel. Move it up, down, left, right. Similarly, keep the right hand down, check with the left hand. Okay. So this, I think, in short, was what was the yoga. So just to summarize the final aspect, saying yoga it has many aspects, many limbs. So asana is one of the limbs, but the actual meaning is how can we get connected to the energy which is flowing all around. Presently, we are not. And the first step was to awaken. And for that, there is a system within, which is governing everything in our life. Any problem in our life, maybe it is physical, you do not get jobs, you get job, you're not doing well in the job, or you're not doing well in studies, physically not happening, you're not able to anything in life. Your family problem is there is fights all around with your friends, everything. The reason is the chakra is an imbalance. So once we go to that root, that is the most important point. You have to feel the root, and to feel the root, the yoga has to happen. And then once that happens, you have to sustain it. And sustenance is dhyan, dharana, and samadhi. The three limbs are, you have to have a dharana. Every day you have to sit and at least 10 minutes quieten down. Quieten down. We are always in so much of excitement, want to do something. So 10 minutes in a day, we have to quieten down in the morning, in the evening. So this, the last step is what you should do every day in your house, every day. Okay. And then, because Atma Saksha, once it is connected, then it is okay. But meditation is every day. You have to bring yourself into balance, because we go into imbalance. We do not know when. And that is the reign of emotional intelligence. It gives you from within. I am going into imbalance. I have to balance myself. Yeah. So this and then of course, to do that, you also have to do what we call as yama niyam. Yama means all the bad things which is against the chakras you do not do. Yama, niyama, and pratyahara. Pratyahara is how do I control the 6 enemies of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara. It happens automatically. And then of course you have to also do a physical exercise. You have to walk, which is very good, play extremely good. There is also a balance in that. And then dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So 8 limbs of yoga, when you do together, then it is called as yoga. Okay. So with this, I will end my talks. I think 12:30 was the time given to me. I would like to open it out for any question answers if you have. I think there must be a chat somewhere, or you can open your mute and then you can ask me.
Yes, I would like to open this platform for the question answer session from the attendees. If you have any questions, you can go ahead with that.
Yeah, it says that there's no access to chat or something. I don't know. Somebody has to open the access.
Yes, sir. We have disabled.
Yes.
Wait.
Thank you. Or anybody can also unmute and ask. Yeah. I would like to know how many of you could feel the Chaitanya, the Parama Chaitanya, when we did that exercise, when we put the hand on the top of the head. If I could get some feedbacks on that, it would be great. And anything, whatever you understood, what was your takeaway? If you could share that, it would be very good. Somebody has lifted a hand, I think so. Gargi, which way? You can unmute. Are you able to unmute?
Yes, so I could feel that on left hand.
On the left hand. Did
Yes.
you feel? Were you able to feel on the right hand?
I mean, right. Actually, when I rose up my left hand, I couldn't feel that much. How much I felt from my right hand, because it was like some energy is going through my hand, not like between the center of my head and the center of my palm.
That's correct. That's correct. What you're feeling is absolutely right. Okay. Now, how do we decipher it now? So what it shows is that right hand, where you could feel, which is good. So that means Pingala Nadi is in balance. But left side is the Nadi of emotions. So when we have a lot of emotional problem, when we are emotionally stressed up, okay, when we are thinking about the past, sometimes when we are not confident about ourselves, we're afraid, some type of fear is there, then the energy flow on the left side reduces and you can feel the imbalance. So with meditation, it will come into balance. And that is what when I was talking about, that many a times we do not know where is the imbalance within us. And if we know where is the imbalance, then you have control over your life. Otherwise, we'll keep going into the same path, and then we do not know, we may end up in a car accident, right? So you should know when to put a brake, which is the emotional side, and when to put the accelerator. Okay, so as you grow, as you understand more of Sage Yoga, you will understand the reason and how to balance it. Balancing how is only meditation. So I think it is a very good feeling that you felt. Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir. I also have one question, sir. You told, we talked about all the chakras in our body, and at that time you told that sometimes the pain or the feelings get immense, and someone get in depression and the end of their lives. Can you
Correct.
please explain me that why such thing happened, that if all the chakras are there, if we are that much of we know all the things, that no, if anything goes bad, it can cure up, we can cure that. But then also, why someone, not we, why the
Yeah.
people get think the goes in that thought that they should end their life?
Correct. So that is what I'm saying. There are two energy channels in our body. One is the left side, and second is the right side. Left side is Ida Nadi. In Ida Nadi, you have an energy which flows, which gives you the desire. Now our basic desire is to live. So now let us assume we are all sitting together. Somebody comes behind you to kill you. You will run from there. That is the basic first desire. How do I protect myself? That is inherent desire of the Atma, which comes inbuilt. Okay. Now the problem is that we go to an imbalance. When we are emotionally too attached, and then you get into a problem which we say emotional problems. Somebody is attached to somebody, something wrong happens, then they go into the energy on the left side starts reducing slowly. It's like the water is flowing in a pipe. The water starts drying up. There is no flow. And when energy does not flow on the Ida Nadi, you feel I'm useless. This life is useless. And it is this is called a psychological problem, very difficult for such people to come out of it. Because until and unless they really put an effort from within, there's an energy which has to bring them back into the middle path, the balanced path. Otherwise, you go, psychologically, you can't, nothing can be done, because that energy to live itself starts reducing. And hence, at every chakra, we will understand as you go further what is the energy which gives you the balance. And once we practice that balance, you will never go into depression. You will never feel sad about it. So you have to understand now what is it at every chakra that leads you into imbalance. All right. So in different people, it is different. Some people know when at the heart level, when they are too attached to somebody, they have an infatuation, as we call, they fall in love, right? And suddenly there is a break. Now emotionally, he goes to the left side or she goes to the left in such a bad way that they feel this is at heart level where there is attachment, because they are hurt so badly that they swing to the left side. Now in some people it may be that they may be for money, same thing will happen in future life. I don't know, when you start earning and suddenly you find that I've lost my job. Or while in Swadhisthana chakra, your studies, you feel suddenly my studies has got into a problem, you've failed. Then you again go back into the emotional side, and from picking you from that side, bringing it to the center is a tremendous task. That is where we say, please be careful, don't go to the extremity. And on the other side, people go to the other extremity, which is working so much that they cannot come back again to the center. On the left, you stop everything stops. And on the right side, you can't stop the bus. So these two extremities is what you come to know. When you're seeing your hand, if left hand, the energy, as you said, is not there, you are going towards the emotional side. You have to bring yourself into balance. Meditation is the only way you can come back into balance. Similarly, when you go to the right side, you tell them, stop working, Baba, don't work so hard, don't study so hard. They're not able to stop at all. So our life is all about extremities at every chakra, and you will understand it as you understand the chakras. Are you understanding? I hope it was clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I get that. And so I think that we should be active all the time.
You have to be active, but what is the level of activity? Now, for example, you have to be active in terms of walking, but can you walk the whole day? Then you will
No.
go to another extreme. So we do not know the extremity of both. We go to the extremity. So both are important. Activity is also important. At the same time, you have to rest. But how much to rest and how much to be active is the balance. And that is told by these vibrations. Within, when the vibrations are flowing equally in both the hands, you know you are in balance. That is the guidance that makes you your own guru. Okay, and hence yoga is very important. The union is important because that will tell you where is the imbalance. All right.
So yes, yes.
Thank you. Yeah. NJ or somebody was wanting to speak. Nidhi, I think you were saying something. Yeah. Yash, you wanted to say? You can unmute and.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, tell me, Yash. Yeah.
Sir, during this lockdown,
Hmm.
I was doing the pranic healing meditation.
Mhm.
I know it. So, sir, at that time, I felt something in my heart chakra.
Hmm.
And sir, as you know, that there are many other types of meditations which, uh, activates the other seven chakras.
Hmm.
So, how do, as a beginner, we have to choose that where to start from?
Yeah. So again, the whole aspect is, once the Kundalini awakens, it will tell you which chakra there is a problem. You know. So, for example, now like as you know, the other girl just now said, Nidhi said that she was not able to feel on the left hand. So it shows the Ida Nadi is under stress. For some people, heart may be under stress. That means this small finger will start pricking. For some people, Nabi may be a problem. So from within, the guidance will come every day. Which chakra is catching? Sometimes, if you eat something horrible, maybe physically, then the Nabi that particular day will get into a problem. You have to clear it, and it gets cleared. Similarly, if you're working too hard or too much thinking, the heat is so much that you may get fever. But here it will start telling you before you get fever that the right is becoming hot, right hand starts becoming hot before. Then you say, okay, let me slow down. You will never get fever in your life. Similarly, Vishuddhi chakra starts pricking, then you know either I'm talking too much on the right side. If the left Vishuddhi catches, you know that you're not talking at all. They are called as silent bores. You can't make them talk, because they're so afraid of talking. Then it shows on the left Vishuddhi. So for different people, there are different problems. And that is shown with the Kundalini awakening. She knows which chakra there is a problem. All right. And hence, this is the guidance that comes. Your own mother will guide you from within. So that is where this first awakening of Kundalini is very important, because you need to have a guidance from within. Where? What is the problem? Have I answered that question? From where to start? For everybody, it is different. There are multiple permutations and combinations. Everybody's problems are different.
Yes, sir. One more thing, sir. Sir, I have heard about advanced meditation. Can you tell something about it? What is it? I don't know actually
Yeah,
about
I
that,
mean,
but I've heard it.
correct. So, of course, for a lot of business sake, they will give a lot of names to different aspects. There is meditation is just becoming quiet. Now, faster you are able to come into quietness. That is, you can say, advanced. There's nothing called advanced, and there's nothing called Of course, when we start a meditation, we call them as beginners, but initially it becomes difficult to get into meditation. As you meditate more and more and more, the balance is easy. That's all right. So now, for example, we'll say when you drive a cycle, initially, don't you find it so difficult to balance, isn't it? You will fall this side or you'll fall that side. Then you practice, and then you become good at that. That's all. That is all. That means the moment you sit on the bike, you are balanced. Same way, the moment you sit in meditation, you do not get thoughts. You are always in balance, and that itself is the advance. That's all. There is nothing else. It's like life. But if they tell you, I will teach you something and give you some knowledge, knowledge is nothing to do with is not meditation. You may have a little more knowledge about chakras, nadis, but how easily are you able to get into the state of nirvichara, samadhi is the deeper meditation. How fast? That's all. And how long can you sustain? If you can sustain for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, then you are getting deeper. And for that, you have to start meditating every day. So that is the only aspect of beginners and deeper meditation. All right. Otherwise, it's only about, maybe I'll teach you something more and maybe make more money. So if money is involved, then again you have to be a little careful. It is more of a business proposition. Here in Sahaja Yoga, we do not take any money. So it has got nothing. It is you yourself are your own masters.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Nidhi Jain, and sir, it was a wonderful session. I really enjoyed the session, but the only thing is see, whatever you explained and whatever you told, it's all about action yoga and all physical thing and all. So, what is the role of awareness of jnana in awakening means like awakening chakra? So, is there any role of jnana? Because so many times people are telling that jnana is also important
It
to
is
awaken the chakra. Because see, yoga is a type of. It's okay that we are doing much on the inside work rather than outside work. But what is the role of jnana? That I just wanted to know.
fantastic. Very nice question. So the whole thing is like this. Okay. Now the first aspect is that you should know where is the problem. Okay. Now by reading books you cannot know. So first you need to know the practical aspect of it also. Okay. Practical is more important than the theory. Now, for example, I'll just give an analogy again. For driving a car, you do not need to know where the petrol is, from how does the petrol get ignited, how does it come, how does the thing work. What you need to know, there's a steering wheel, there's a brake, there's an accelerator, I'm able to move the car forward. But at a later date, when you need to have a mastery over the car, then you need to know, if you're a mechanic part of it, then you need to understand if it fails, how do I repair it? Are you understanding? So the same way, what we need to know is there are 7 chakras. Okay, there are nadis. First, let me start feeling them, and that is where this union is this first step. Once you start feeling it, then it will start showing you that my nabi is catching, my left side is catching. Okay, ida nadi is catching. That means no energy is coming on the left hand. Now you go back to the gyan, to the books, and find out what are the reasons why the ida nadi catches. And as I was telling you, there are different reasons. So one is emotionally you may be challenged. Somebody, you have got an emotional hit. Now emotional hit is in which chakra? It could be Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Nabi, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya. Any of these 6 or 7 centers the emotional hit can be different, and depending upon that chakra will catch. Then you say, Acha, what do I do to correct that chakra? That is the Gyan. But the first Gyan is the Gyan of what we call as the Vida. Veda is, of course, tells you what has to be done. But first part of Veda is Vida. Vida means you have to feel it on your central nervous system. So the sequencing is like this. First is the feeling. You have to have Atma Sakshatkar. You should know where is the problem. Then you go back to the theory, which is the Jnana, the so-called Jnana. But the real Jnana is the Jnana of this energy. Are you understanding the difference now? Right? So now you're doing engineering. Now, you are understanding the theory part of it. Then you go and apply the practical part of it. And in practical, then you understand, Achha, why is this failing? What is the theory behind it? What are the parts which can fail? Then you go and do your root cause analysis. But first is practically running the whole thing and taking it.
Yeah, very true. Because until unless you're not having jnana and this yoga, means I think both have to move simultaneously to
Both have to move
control the things.
simultaneously. Both
Yeah.
have to move simultaneously.
Thank you for a beautiful explanation, sir.
Yeah. So my electrical engineer, we first start the engine. Okay, like the motor. But you should know how to start the motor. It should work. Otherwise, you say, there is a wheel, there's a winding, there's a this side, that side, this is connected to a starter, induction. All of that is theory. But first it has to start. And once it starts, if it gets into a problem, that is where we are. We need to know, where is the problem? Why is it getting overheated? What are the reasons for overheating? And that is exactly what life is.
Yeah, awareness in jnana is also playing a major role. That's what. Okay, thank you very much.
Both are important. But many a times here, what we do, we go behind Gyan only, and practical part is not there. And here we are first do the practical, and then now slowly start understanding the theory.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Any more questions from the attendees? Okay, I think, sir, there are no more questions.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes. So Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening speech.
Thank you.
I would like to say that to have a healthy and harmonious life, it is good to practice yoga.
Yes.
So you have very nicely explained the benefits of doing yoga and meditation, and we all are sure that from tomorrow we'll start continuing this as a regular practice.
Okay. So in order to continue it ahead, so you see, for us, it is, you can go to our website called sahajayoga.org. And then, there is another website on meditation. You can get everything online. Okay. And we have centers all across the country. Everything is free. Please search for Sahaja Yoga centers across the country. In Pune, I understand all of you are in Pune, or wherever the students are from, whichever part of India or the world, we have centers there. It's spread out across more than 150 countries now. So there's no place where you will not get the Sahaja Yoga. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Surely, sir, will approach to that.
Sure.
Yeah, and now I would like to call upon Professor Pramod Saunke, sir, to propose the vote of thanks and conclude the session.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event, International Yoga Day. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Pradyut Verma, sir, who honored this function, honored this Yoga Day with his inspirational and motivational thoughts and demonstrations. Then I would like to thank our beloved principal, sir, the organizer Tamre sir, Lina madam, all faculty and staff members and students. Once again, I thanks one and all present here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.